Hello guys, this is section 1.2, identifying multiples. So what I want you guys to do right now is to copy down this title in your notebooks and underline it to keep your notes nice and neat. So just pause the video and get that done and press play when you're ready. Okay, so just a quick little review from last class. I want you guys to find the factors of 36 and make sure you write this down in your notebooks and underline it as review. So find the factors of 36. So remember we done 4 different ways. We used 4 different ways to find the factors of 36. We used arrays, we used the factor rainbow, we used our calculator, and we also used our multiplication table. I think the easiest way is either the calculator or the factor rainbow, so I would suggest using that unless you're really comfortable with another way. So just give that a try, pause the video, and when you come back we'll go over the answer. Okay, if you're all done, let's go over the answer. So here's the answer here. Well, the beginning of the answer. So we all know that 2 factors of any number is always 1 and 36. Okay, and we can check that using our calculator. So I just pop it up here. So here's our calculator. Let me clear that. So we're going to check 36 divided by 1. And what do we get? We get 36. So we get a whole number here on our calculator, which means 1 is a factor of 36. Okay, so let's look at the next factor. So we tried 1, let's try 2. 36 divided by 2. And let's see if we get a whole number. Okay, so we get a whole number here, no decimal. Just nice, neat 18. So that means 2 and 18 are factors of 36. So we put that in on our rainbow. Like so. So here's our factors so far. Okay, we checked 1 and 2. Let's check 3. 36 divided by 3. And again, we get a nice whole number here on our calculator. So 3 and 12 are factors of 36. And we put that in on our rainbow. And before we move on, we check 4. 36 divided by 4 equals, again, a nice whole number. So far 36 has a lot of factors, so we have to add on factors 4 and 9. Okay, and there we go. So let's check 5. 36 divided by 5. Okay, here, we don't get a nice whole number. So this means the 5 is not a factor of 36. So we don't put it on our factor rainbow. Okay, so we tried 5. Let's try 6. 36 divided by 6 equals, okay, so we get a whole number, no decimal here. So 6 and 6 are factors of 36, but 6 is the same as 6, so we can just write down factor of 6, and we write it in our rainbow like this. So that's what your rainbow should look like, and then our factors are at the bottom of the rainbow here. So to find the factors of 36, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36 are our factors of 36. Okay, if you guys had any trouble with that, please pause the video and let me know. Okay, so we're going to move on now to our next slide. And I want you guys to write this down in your exercise book. Keep your notes neat. So I'll probably put a title there, Notes. Okay, to separate it from the review we just did. So I'm going to introduce a new keyword, now a new definition. And that keyword is multiple. You see it right here. So you guys just copy it down. And multiple is the result. You get a multiple by multiplying a number by a whole number. And it's important that it's a whole number, a nice neat number with no decimal points. So you'll probably understand that more with a few examples. So for example, 3 is a multiple of 3 because 3 times 1, and that's our whole number, equals 3. So here's our multiple. 6 is a multiple of 3 because 3 times 2, and that's our whole number, equals 6. 9 is a multiple of 3 because 3 times 3 equals 9, and we'll do one more. 12 is a multiple of 3 because 3 times 4 gives us 12. So these are our multiples here in the red, and they're all multiples of 3. So you can see a pattern here. To get the multiples, all you have to do is to take your number, so a multiple of 3, take the number 3 and multiply by 1, multiply by 2, multiply by 3, multiply by 4. They all give multiples of 3. So 3 times 5 gives you 15. 15 is a multiple. 3 times 6 is 18. That's a multiple. 3 times whatever you get when you do that, as long as it's a whole number you're multiplying it by, the result will be a multiple. And we'll do a couple examples now. Just pause the video if you have any questions on that and ask a neighbor or ask an older student, or if I'm available, ask me any questions if need be. If not, move ahead to some examples. Okay, so we're going to try an example now. I want you to write this in your book. Example, underline example, and I want you to list the first 5 multiples of 2. Make sure you write that down. Once you pause it, and then once you got that written down, you can play again, and we'll work through it together. You don't have to try it by yourself yet. This is an example that we'll work through together. Okay, so to find the first 5 multiples, like the example back here, I'm just going to flick back. All we're doing to find multiples is multiplying our number by a whole number. So our number in this case is 2. We're trying to find multiples of 2. And we're trying to find the first 5. So all we have to do is multiply 2 by 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 here in the blue. That's our first multiple. So make sure you copy that down. Okay, our next one is our number that we're working on, 2 multiples of 2. 2 times, and next, 2 times 2 equals 4. So 4 is our next multiple. Write that down. And then, as you can see our pattern, we're going to go 2 by 3 is 6. So that's a multiple of 2. And notice that our multiples as well, they're going up by 2. So 2, 4, 6. Next one's going to be 8, because 2 times 4 is 8. Make sure you copy those down. And then 2 times 5 is 10. So just pause the video if you're a little bit behind there and writing that down. When you're done, just play again. Okay, so the final step, and I want you guys to write this down, is you always list your multiples. So we see 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 are the first 5 multiples of 2. I just wrote a little sentence answering the question up there. Okay, just pause the video if you need a second to write that down. Alright, when you're ready, I want you to try. So I want you to write this down in your book. Just write down "now you try" and underline, because this is one you're gonna give it a go on your own. And write down the instruction. List the first 5 multiples of 4. I want you to pause the video and try it on your own. When you get it done, press press play and see if you get the right answer. I'll go through it together. Okay, so like our previous example, we're looking for multiples of 4, so we go 4 times a whole number. Our first whole number is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Check and see if you're doing it right so far. 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 is our next multiple. 4 times 3 is 12. So that's our next multiple, 12. 4 times 4 is 16. And we're looking for the first 5, so we need 4 times 5, which is 20. So, just to summarize that, so 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20 are the first 5 multiples of 4. Okay, if you have any questions, just ask a neighbor or an older student, or if I'm available, put up your hand and see if you can get my attention and ask me. Make sure you understand this before we move on. Okay, I just wanted you guys to make a note there of something, of a pattern we see with multiples. No need to write this down, just follow along. Think about what we just done. What do you see? So we found the multiples of 2, 3, and 4 in our examples that were just presented. And we see 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. So you see all the multiples of 2 are in our multiplication table along our 2 row or our 2 column, depending on what way you want to look at the table. Same with 3. And our example back here in our notes, you can see we went 3, 6, 9, and 12. And all those are listed in our multiplication table. And same with 4. So that's just a nice little trick to know that your multiples, they're in your multiplication table. And it's easy to remember because multiples, multiplication table, there's obviously a connection there. Okay, so the next example, I want you to write this down in your exercise book. Okay, example. Is 52 a multiple of 4? Okay, so the steps we're going to use to find that is we're going to use the calculator. And I'm going to show you that now, but I'm going to give you a second to write that down. So write all this down, then we'll go through it together. Pause the video, and when you're ready, play again. Okay, so if you have all that written down, is 52 a multiple of 4? So we're going to use our calculator now. So turn our calculator on. I'm just going to clear up some room there. So is 52 a multiple of 4? All we have to do is put 52 divided by 4 into our calculator, and we press enter. Now, the answer is 13, a nice whole number, no decimals, no dots there after our 13. So, what does that tell us? We'll come back here. Okay, if the answer is a whole number, and which it is, it's 13, yes, then 52 is a multiple of 4. Okay, make sure you write that down. Press pause until you're ready, and then we can move on to another example. Okay, copy this down, and then give it a try on your own. Once you have written this down, press play, and we'll go through it together again. So, is 47 a multiple of 3? Same thing as before, just different numbers. So we use calculator again. So go 47 divided by 3. And is the answer a whole number? No. We have a decimal here. We don't have a nice neat whole number for an answer. So that means no. 47 is not a multiple of 3. Make sure you copy that down and you understand that. If you're not getting that answer on your calculator or you don't understand, please ask someone around you or ask me if I'm available. Now, give this one a try on your own. Write down the question and then write it down, the answer down in the exercise book, and see if you get it right. I'm going to give you the answer now in a second. So write this down, pause the video, and try it on your own. Okay, so by now hopefully you've tried it. Here's our steps again. Use the calculator. So we go 595 divided by 7 to find out if 595 is a multiple of 7. Then we check our whole, see if our answer is a whole number. If it is a multiple. So yes, we got a high number, 85, but still it's a nice whole number, no decimals. So the answer is yes, 595 is a multiple of 7. Make sure you have all that copied down and you have the right answer before moving on. Okay, last little activity for the day. I want you to write down what's in the blue box in your exercise book. I want you to write down reflection, underline. Then I want you to answer these 2 simple questions just to see, to get you to reflect on what you learned today. So number 1, what did I learn about in this lesson? I want you to answer that. It doesn't have to be a long answer, just a sentence or 2. And number 2, did I find this lesson easy, okay, or hard? Okay, once you get that done, play the video again. And the practice work that goes along with this lesson, I want you guys to work on page 76 in your textbook, numbers 2 to 6, and then 8 to 9. And I want you to do your worksheet, identifying multiples, and this is due next class. Okay, so make sure you write down those numbers, know what homework you have, what practice work you have, and give it a go. Good luck. I hope you found this lesson helpful.